I'm me, Fruit Brute, with my fruit-flavored cereal. Fruit Brute, part of your nutritious breakfast.
Here are 22 famous lunches from the 1970s that no longer exist. Libbyland Adventure Meals. Libbyland Adventure Meals were a beloved part of childhood lunches in the 1970s, offering kids a whimsical dining experience. These packaged meals featured a variety of kid-friendly foods, including mini sandwiches, fruit cups, and tasty desserts, all designed to be fun and easy to eat. The packaging was adorned with colorful illustrations and playful characters, making lunchtime feel like an adventure. However, as consumer preferences shifted toward healthier options and more innovative lunch solutions in the 1980s, Libbyland faded into obscurity. Today, it remains a nostalgic reminder of a simpler time in kids' culinary experiences. Swanson International TV Dinners. Swanson International TV Dinners were a popular frozen meal option in the 1970s, offering American families a taste of global cuisine right from their microwaves. These TV dinners featured dishes like Mexican, Italian, and Chinese meals, packaged with a serving of sides and a dessert. While they provided an exciting culinary adventure for the time, the meals were often criticized for their low quality and bland flavors. As consumer preferences shifted towards fresher, healthier foods in the decades that followed, Swanson phased out their international offerings, leaving this once famous lunch option a nostalgic memory of the 70s. Space Food Sticks. Did you know space food sticks were originally developed for astronauts? These chewy, tube-shaped snacks were created as a portable, energy-packed treat for space missions and became a popular snack for kids in the 1970s. Marketed as a futuristic food, they came in flavors like peanut butter and chocolate. Though convenient, their bland taste and odd texture didn't stand the test of time. Eventually, as snack options evolved and the space race faded from the cultural spotlight, space food sticks disappeared from supermarket shelves, leaving only memories of this once novel treat. Tang sandwich. Yes, you read that right. A Tang sandwich. In the 1970s, the powdered orange drink mix, famous for being consumed by astronauts, made its way into a strange lunch option. Tang was often sprinkled between slices of bread or mixed with peanut butter for a uniquely sweet and tangy sandwich. Though it sounds outlandish by today's standards, it captured the quirky, experimental nature of 70s food culture. As people's palates changed and the novelty of Tang faded, this bizarre lunch option disappeared, leaving behind stories of one of the strangest food combinations from that era. Chef Boyardee Pizza Mix. A 1970s kitchen staple, the Chef Boyardee Pizza Mix offered families a quick and easy way to enjoy homemade pizza. The box contained everything you needed: dough mix, sauce, and grated cheese. Although it wasn't gourmet by any means, it was a go-to for busy parents looking to make an Italian-inspired meal on the fly. However, with the rise of frozen pizza options and better-tasting alternatives, this iconic pizza kit faded into obscurity. Chef Boyardee's famous mix became a nostalgic relic, no longer found on store shelves but fondly remembered by many. Shake-a-Puddin'. Remember the fun of shaking your dessert? Shake-a-Puddin' was a 1970s instant pudding mix that allowed kids to prepare their own treat by simply shaking a cup filled with the mix and milk. This hands-on snack came in flavors like chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch. While it was a hit with children for its interactive element, the novelty soon wore off as other more convenient snack options emerged. The days of shaking pudding for fun soon vanished, and so did Shake-a-Puddin' from store shelves. Pudding Pops. Pudding Pops, made famous by Jell-O, were a cool and creamy frozen treat that took the 1970s by storm. These rich, fudgy popsicles came in a variety of flavors like chocolate, vanilla, and swirl, and quickly became a lunchtime favorite for kids. However, despite their initial popularity, Pudding Pops gradually disappeared from the market as other frozen desserts gained traction. Today, they remain a fond memory of simpler times when pudding could be enjoyed on a stick, cooling down hot summer days. Underwood deviled ham sandwiches. Underwood deviled ham sandwiches were a classic lunchbox staple in the 1970s. Packaged in small cans, this deviled ham spread was quick, convenient, and easily slapped onto a piece of bread for a fast sandwich. Though it was beloved for its portability, the flavor wasn't exactly gourmet, and as sandwich preferences shifted toward fresher ingredients, this processed lunch option began to fall out of favor. While you can still find Underwood deviled ham in stores today, it's no longer the lunchtime sensation it once was. Kugel peanut butter spread. Ever heard of flavored peanut butter? Kugel peanut butter spread was an unusual take on the beloved sandwich staple, offering varieties like chocolate, banana, vanilla, and cinnamon. Launched by Kraft in the 70s, Kugel aimed to add a fun twist to the peanut butter experience. Despite its catchy advertising and quirky mascot, Kugel didn't stick around for long. The novelty flavors couldn't compete with classic peanut butter, and it quietly disappeared from grocery stores, leaving only a few who fondly recall its unique taste. Morton frozen pot pies. Morton frozen pot pies were once a dinnertime favorite in homes across America, offering a hearty meal in the convenience of a single pie. Packed with meat, vegetables, and gravy, these pot pies were a quick fix for busy families in the 1970s. However, as frozen food offerings expanded and consumer tastes moved toward healthier or more sophisticated meals, Morton's pot pies lost their appeal. Although similar pot pies still exist today, the Morton brand faded into history, remembered as part of the frozen meal boom of the 70s. Danish Go-Rounds. A forerunner to the famous Pop-Tarts, Danish Go-Rounds were toaster pastries introduced in the early 1970s. Shaped like spirals, they offered flavors like cinnamon and fruit, giving a new twist to the breakfast-on-the-go concept. Though they were initially a hit with busy families and kids, they struggled to compete with the more convenient, square-shaped Pop-Tarts. By the late 70s, Danish Go-Rounds disappeared, and today they remain a forgotten footnote in the evolution of toaster pastries. Peanut butter boppers. Peanut butter boppers were a sweet snack that debuted in the late 70s, featuring peanut butter rolled into bite-sized logs and coated in chocolate or crunchy toppings. Marketed as a fun and tasty treat, they quickly became popular among kids and peanut butter fans alike. Despite their initial success, peanut butter boppers failed to maintain momentum as snack options diversified, and they were eventually discontinued. Today, they serve as a nostalgic reminder of the quirky snack options from that era. Betty Crocker Tuna Twist. A quirky blend of seasoning and breadcrumbs, Betty Crocker's Tuna Twist was marketed as a way to jazz up the classic tuna salad sandwich. Introduced in the 70s, it was designed to add more flavor and texture to tuna, a popular lunchtime ingredient at the time. However, as home cooks began experimenting with their own spices and fresh ingredients, the need for a prepackaged mix like Tuna Twist waned. It was quietly discontinued, leaving only a small group of fans who still remember it as a shortcut for tuna salad enthusiasts. Libby's Canned Corned Beef Hash. Libby's Canned Corned Beef Hash was a quick and convenient solution for those craving a hearty meal. In the 1970s, a mix of corned beef and potatoes, it was commonly fried up and served for breakfast or lunch. While it had its share of fans, its heavy, processed nature eventually fell out of favor with consumers looking for fresher, healthier alternatives. Though corned beef hash still exists in various forms, Libby's version has become a thing of the past, now more of a nostalgic memory for those who loved its ease and simplicity. Bun Bars. Bun Bars were a chocolate-covered candy bar filled with caramel, nuts, and nougat, making them a beloved treat in the 1970s. Originating from the Pearson Candy Company, they had a loyal fan base that enjoyed their chewy, rich texture. Despite their popularity for a time, Bun Bars eventually faded from the mainstream as newer candy bars entered the market. Though they briefly reappeared, they never regained the prominence they once had, leaving them a sweet memory for those who grew up in that era. Campbell's Pepper Pot Soup. Did you know that Campbell's Pepper Pot Soup has historical roots dating back to the Revolutionary War? Known as the soup that won the war, it was made famous in the 1700s but became a lunch staple in the 1970s thanks to Campbell's. Featuring tripe, beef, and a spicy broth, it was a hearty choice for adventurous eaters. However, over time, its unique flavor and ingredients became less appealing to modern tastes, and it was eventually discontinued. Today, Campbell's pepper pot soup is more of a forgotten culinary curiosity from the past. Long John Silver's Fish and Chips. Long John Silver's Fish and Chips were a quintessential lunch for those seeking fast food seafood in the 1970s. Known for their crispy battered fish and fries, Long John Silver's became a household name for families craving something different from burgers and pizza. However, the franchise's popularity waned as health-conscious trends took over and many locations closed. While Long John Silver still operates today, their classic fish and chips from the 70s aren't quite the cultural phenomenon they once were. Chungking Can Chow Mein. Chungking Can Chow Mein was one of the first introductions of Chinese-American cuisine to mainstream grocery stores. In the 1970s, it was a convenient way for families to experience a taste of the Orient at home, complete with crunchy noodles and vegetables in sauce. Though it was a popular lunch option for many years, its overly processed taste couldn't keep up with rising demand for fresher, more authentic Asian cuisine. Chungking's canned offerings eventually faded from shelves, replaced by more contemporary versions of Chinese food. Bird's Eye Boil-in-Bag Meals. A true innovation of the 1970s, Bird's Eye Boil-in-Bag Meals provided a quick solution for busy families. These meals came in a plastic bag that you could drop straight into boiling water, cooking everything at once. With options like turkey and gravy or beef stew, they were a hit with those seeking convenience. However, as microwave technology advanced and people began preferring less processed meal solutions, the boil-in-bag concept became outdated. Bird's Eye eventually phased out these meals, leaving them as a nostalgic snapshot of mid-century convenience cooking. Lunch Buckets by Chef Boyardee. Chef Boyardee's lunch buckets were a quick, microwavable meal that catered to busy families and kids in the 1970s. Featuring fan-favorite Chef Boyardee dishes like ravioli and spaghetti in compact single-serving portions, they offered a convenient way to enjoy hot meals without any fuss. Despite their initial appeal, the lunch buckets couldn't keep up with changing consumer preferences, especially as the demand for fresher, healthier, and more diverse lunch options grew. Eventually, these portable meals faded away, leaving behind memories of quick canned pasta that defined many school lunches of the era. Fruit Brute cereal with milk. Here's a quick fact. Fruit Brute was a part of General Mills' iconic monster-themed cereal lineup, introduced in 1974 alongside Count Chocula and Frankenberry. This fruity, marshmallow-filled cereal became a breakfast hit, often paired with milk for a sugary start to the day. Its combination of bright colors and quirky mascot made it a favorite with kids, but it was discontinued in 1982, overshadowed by its more popular cereal siblings. Though it had a brief revival, Fruit Brute, especially as a lunchbox snack, remains a nostalgic item from the 70s that many wish would return permanently. For more contents like this, click here to subscribe.